So let's get to the big news. Overnight came another move by the Trump administration, to your point, Joe, to strike down Obamacare in the middle of a pandemic. Amid the surging coronavirus pandemic and record unemployment, the Justice Department briefed late last night asking the Supreme Court to overturn the Affordable Care Act. The move came on the same day the government reported that nearly 500,000 people who lost health insurance during the coronavirus shutdown enrolled in coverage through healthcare.gov, a 46% increase from the same time last year. The legal brief makes no mention of the virus. Back in 2017, Congress eliminated the penalties that enforced the individual mandate. That was followed by a lawsuit from a coalition of Republican attorneys general led by the state of Texas, arguing that the entire law must be struck down, including popular protections for those with pre-existing conditions. Joe Biden, anticipating the Trump administration's filing in support of this case, had this to say at an event in Pennsylvania yesterday.
Perhaps most cruelly of all, if Donald Trump has his way, those who have complications from COVID-19 could become the new pre-existing conditions. Some survivors will experience lasting health impacts like lung scarring and heart damage. And if Donald Trump prevails in court, insurers would be allowed once again to strip away coverage, jack up premiums, simply because of the battle they survived fighting coronavirus. Mr. President, drop the lawsuit. Stop trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. Stop taking away people's health care and their peace of mind. Now more than ever, stop trying to steal their peace of mind. I cannot comprehend the cruelty that's driving him to inflict this pain on the very people he's supposed to serve.
Well, and there we go. Gene Robinson, there we go. I'm going to get to Jonathan in a second to get the reporting on this, but you tell me, Gene, what man or woman who wants to be reelected president of the United States decides when everything is going bad for him and his poll numbers are collapsing that he's going to choose this time in the middle of a pandemic that's killed 125,000 Americans, it will likely kill 150 or more by the time of the election, to actually work to try to take away health care for millions of Americans in a program that is actually very popular now. And at the same time, work to defund testing for states like Texas, Arizona, and Florida, and even get Ted Cruz and John Cornyn writing letters saying, Mr. President, now is not the time to defund testing. As Houston's top healthcare official said, this would be catastrophic. And yet Donald Trump's doing it. Can you explain it? Maybe you can explain it better than me.
No. Well, it's baffling, it's incomprehensible, and it is, if he does want to be reelected, it is the stupidest possible way to try to go about it. So look what he's doing. It's because he's not only doing this to himself, he's putting the Republican Party, on the side of taking away health care from millions of Americans in the midst of a pandemic. He's putting the Republican Party firmly on the side of structural racism and specific racism, and the term kung flu, and the idea that all the protesters protesting police violence are thugs. He's putting the Republican Party not just on the wrong side of history in issue after issue after issue, but on the wrong side of this election, and you see it in every poll and what you've seen, and you don't have to take an individual poll. Just take the suite of polls we've seen over the last month, especially this accelerating decline over the last couple of weeks. he's trying to drag his party down to a historic defeat where it loses not just the White House, but loses the Senate, loses state legislative seats, loses the whole ball of wax. It is incomprehensible, and Republicans are going along with it. They're not really. I mean, they're writing little letters. Please, Mr. President, don't take away our testing for COVID. But they better start speaking out, and they better do something. Because if they don't, I mean, we're getting into going off the cliff.
Well, off the cliff, and actually, the Wall Street Journal editorial page this morning. Thanks, John Heilman, for pointing this out. John texted me and talked about how the Wall Street Journal editorial page, of all pages, taking Donald Trump to task, saying Mr. Trump's base of 35% will never leave, but the swing voters who stood by him for 3.5 years has fallen away in the last 2 months. This includes suburban women, independents, and seniors who took a risk on him in 2016 as an outsider who would shake things up. Now, millions of Americans are close to deciding that 4 more years are more risk than they can stand. As of now, Mr. Trump has no second-term agenda or even a message beyond 4 more years of himself. His recent events were dominated by personal grievances. And then they go on to say, perhaps Mr. Trump lacks the self-awareness and the discipline to make his case. Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.